Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is Jonas Reports for the 20th of August. Well, we saw a bit of the action that we were looking for from the weakness that was expressed here, but given that, we also saw that we had the reset from the steel. And so as we came down to the 61%, which we did the last time, we had relative close to this situation. Not quite as severe because you can see that the white MBI touched the magenta back on this significant dip versus here, not even close. Still working its way down, so I mean, still inherent softness in there, coupled with the shakeout breaking into the negative as well. So wouldn't be surprised to see some back and forth again. But what we did notice that was significant was a dramatic increase in volumes, and that's going to add to volatility, which is always a welcome thing. From the NQ standpoint, likewise situation here, not enough to cause white to break over magenta, even though it's still continuing its softness. So it's just like a reset. And as well, the shakeout. Pretty negative readings for such a tiny move, which just indicates to you that the next wave potential up, if the shakeout turns around, it could be significant. Plus, you look at the DOC, it's completely reset as well. A lot of potential for push to the upside, given certain factors. I mean, obviously, you're going to have to see some kind of inflationary push or dramatic increase in spending. Of course, we'll see what happens given the world turmoils, whether or not that has any impact whatsoever as far as restraining the market from any moves. From a euro standpoint, again, we talked about this for a while, where the Fed just doesn't see the necessity to jump into the euro situation at this particular point. They're allowing it to fade back and prevents a little bit of that acrimony that was starting to build as they were pushing that artificially high dollar relative to the euro. From a crypto standpoint, it's been back and forth choppy every time we, though, get to these base levels right around this 44 range. Captured buyers, and it was no different the other day. Got a double signal conversion right there, and boom, shot up from there. Pretty strong, fairly clean on that. What we did notice here on that 5K, like I was talking about, you can see from the blue line ending the previous day, look at how much more range we have. That's a lot more volume than we've seen in quite a while. So that's a good thing. Because as it starts to build within segments, you get better runs that usually have a little bit more sustained distance to them, even from the short side. Those moves have more carry through. And again, right back to these algo setups that we had from before. Hadn't changed any of those. And then once you go from the bottom one, you just move right back up to the top. So we have this range here at the 43 all the way up to the 44. And we hovered back and forth along that line, but pretty much mostly above it. We're right back at it again here in post-market. It still produced some excellent runs, so nothing to complain about as far as volatility starting to improve, as well as breadth of the market. And I think we'll see that just like I figured as we head towards September and the quote-unquote back-to-school event. It usually happens a little earlier than by the 25th or so, so we'll see if that starts to take place. And then, of course, you have the Labor Day holiday, and we go from there. As always, I will update relevant things heading up to Montepulcione today, but should be back a little bit later, mid-action if anything unique happens. This was pretty boilerplate, back and forth, positive weakness. Nothing too dramatic. As always, though, trade well. Have a good one.